White silk is in the air. 1/2 mile to go for Jimmy Grant. Grant through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway for the final time. Driver out of Penn Yan, New York, in the Hands Performance and Powder Coating. Champion Scrap. Wild Willy Special, number 36. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and he's going to do it. Jimmy Grant's going to get his first win at Canandaigua. 3 laps to go from the Land of Legends. Green lights are on. And here comes Grant down to the inside. Battle for the race lead, and a slider for Jimmy Grant. And he'll take the race lead. Wow! He went to the bottom and just flat out drove by. Wow! Of all the ways this race could have played out, I did not see that coming. Jimmy Grant through 3 and 4, a race win, and he claims the Prouties bounty. Jimmy Grant wins here at the Land of Legends. Welcome into Land of Legends TV here for this week's racing action, and we're starting it off with another edition of our one-on-one interviews. And this week we're talking with Jimmy Grant, Eldridge & Son Scrap Recycling street stock driver. And Jimmy, welcome to Land of Legends TV, man. You've certainly been one of the highlights this season. You guys have just been having a stellar year this year.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We've had a great year, and it's because of work in the shop. Races are won in the shop, and if I wasn't here, I'd probably be in the shop right now.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you taking the time away from doing some of that. And before we get into some of the on-track success this year, I love talking with drivers about how they get started, and this is a unique situation for me because you and I grew up racing together.
Yeah.
I have followed your racing career all the way through, and so what was it? I know you started in the youth division at Black Rock, what it was called Black Rock back in the day, but what was it that got you into racing? What was the driving force, and when did racing become a big interest for you?
When I was born and I went to the first race with my dad, I was probably, before I could remember, I went to the races, and ever since he started bringing us, and, we got us a car when we were 11, me and my brother both, and, it went from there. What
was some of your first memories of racing yourself? I don't remember exactly how the story goes, but one of the first races, I think, for you in Serenity, you ended up on top of another car.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience.
The very first race the Black Rock Bandits ever had, I was 11 years old, and they dropped the green, went into one. Serenity drove into my left rear quarter and never lifted and flipped me completely over. When we landed, she was sitting completely on top of me, and I was on all fours, and she had it right to the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, the tire was sitting here, and it was filling my car full of smoke because I was 11 years old, so I panicked.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And before you knew it, my dad was standing there, telling me to stop crying.
Yeah. Man, those were some good years back then. I mean,
think a bunch of them.
Yeah, think about how many cars we used to have in that class. You never got handed a win in that class.
That was a good class. Matt Shepard was in it. Donnie Lawson. The list goes on of great drivers that come out of the division, and it's sad that it's went away because my brother's kids and my kids, we all had cars for them this year, and it went away. So
yeah.
But
from that point, moving into other racing ventures, I can't do this interview and not bring up, the racing aside, some of the stunt shows Wild Willy used to do.
Yeah.
He drove a tractor trailer through an RV. I mean, this isn't just a racing thing. Like, you guys have come from, some of the things he used to do up at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a circle track racing story.
No, if it has a motor in it, we're probably able to wreck it. I've drove through 2 house trailers myself. My dad hit a ramp with a tractor trailer and tried to flip it. I'm the one at fairgrounds that drove through the motorhome.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of, even at my house, there's usually 6 or 8 cars there. Any given night can just turn into a real fun time.
Yeah. His legacy lives on with your race team. You've referenced him so many times. You've won heat races and now a feature on his birthday here. And what is that? His memory lives on through your race team. But what does that mean to you to kind of carry out? for example, Dale Earnhardt Jr., when he was racing after his father died, he said, I want to add to his legacy.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you feel with, he got you guys started and you're just kind of carrying on that legacy with the Grants?
Both my brother and I, we both race because of my dad. And, even though he's not here with us physically, he's always here. I got that little skull on my car, sitting on lineup every time. I said, here we go, man. Every time, never fails. Now my brother's got his ashes in his car. So, I think just because he's not here physically doesn't mean he's not here. That's just the way I think about it. But
what do you think that Wild Willy would say, seeing you guys out here having the success that you're having this year, the last couple of years, but starting off the season as well as you guys did this year?
Oh, he'd be very, very proud. He'd tell us we were, idiots for spending that much money on a race car. But he'd be really pleased with us and, how hard we work at it, because none of this is given to you.
Yeah.
So, we see us both in the shop and his shop that he built, we both work out of now is, that was his dream and we're just making it come true.
You guys are living it now,
oh,
yeah. Every time you win a race and you're in victory lane, I can't help but notice how much you talk about the family, the team, the crew guys. I mean, you guys roll pretty deep with the crew here at the races.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, and you mentioned it here at the beginning, is it takes so much work and so many hours in the shop. It's not just something you're saying in victory lane. There's a lot of good people that are helping support this whole effort.
Oh, there's a huge group of people. Like, there's 30 people that come into the races with us every night. Not all of them come to victory lane. Some of them are disabled, but, it's not just me. It's the whole group of people that come to the shop, that support us there, and all the hours of hard work. It's, like I said, nothing's given to you. Not in this class anyways. Everything's so close, so tight. I know personally, my race car won't leave the shop unless it is 100% ready to go. You'll never see me come to the racetrack and work on it. It's when he gets here, it gets unloaded, we sit in lawn chairs, we get our mind right.
Yeah.
But it is a great group of people, and I'm very grateful for every one of them.
Talking about some of those people last week, or actually the I should say June 19th, we were here for a race, had trouble in the heat race, and our camera crew was over there, man. Your crew was thrashing. Somebody took off back to Penn Yan going for parts.
Yeah.
Tell us about what happened, what was wrong with the car, and I think even if the rain hadn't come, I think you guys would have been in good shape to get out there.
Yeah, luckily Lance and Albanese had the part we need. We broke a piece off our spindle and bent the spindle. The spindle was still able to drive. It wouldn't have been right, but we needed that arm, the lower arm, to hook our tie rod into. Went over there, he hooked us up with it, and actually my buddy Austin took off to Penn Yan because we had some in the shop. Of course, they're not in the trailer. But we were ready. We were ready to race, and I was really looking forward to driving from the back to the front.
Yeah. And, with that makeup feature comes, you'll still have that opportunity. But, to watch them work over there pit side, that was it's nice to see that here on the grassroots level of racing. Talk about when you came to the Land of Legends and decided we're going to make this our Saturday night home. What was it that brought you here to the Land of Legends, and what's kept you here?
Well, when we first started coming here, it was just because Outlaw was raining out, you know what I mean? So we wanted to race. So we come over here and, met Paul. Not every promoter is going to walk up and shake your hand and tell you thank you for coming. That sealed the deal right there for me. We kept running here, and we run some heat races, and we got good, and we started to learn the racetrack, and our car didn't get tore all to pieces every week, so that really meant a lot to us there, and we made it our home. This is the place that we look forward to coming, my whole family. Everybody knows that Saturday's racing. Don't plan a wedding. Austin did that. He was totally understanding, saying, I gotta go. He's like, well, go win us a championship, and he was home watching.
I got reports from there. They said they were going crazy when you got the checkered flag that night. Speaking of checkered flags, you've been blessed with a few of those already this year. I know when you guys came to the racetrack this year, you were setting out to go win a championship.
Yes.
And, so far so good. It's certainly long from over, but talk about that desire and wanting to reach that goal coming into this year.
Well, the past 2 years we're here, we've missed the championship by, a little bit. We got second points for 2 years in a row, and, I hate losing more than I like winning. So, we just knew we had to go upgrade our equipment, which we did. We got a great team. We just want that championship so bad you can't explain it. It's It's one of those things I've never got, never had a championship. I've raced for a lot of years, never won a championship. So,
Yeah.
and I want it for my family, you know, everyone that works hard, you know. I'm the guy that screws up on the racetrack and feels bad for them, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because it's not just me involved. So
Right.
once we get that championship, we're going up. You know, we're not going to be the guys that sit there and rate. And good for them, you know, but, you know, I want to see what I can do.
Yeah.
You know, we got an opportunity with this new sponsor. I think we're going to go into a big block next year.
Wow.
That's if I win the championship. You
Gotcha.
know, I'll stay right here until I win a championship.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
other than that, you know, I'm not selling my race car, nothing. I'm going to put it in the back of the barn and put it on blocks, and, you know, maybe special shows come out and see if they still got it or not.
Sure. Your wife, Courtney, such a great supporter and a few weeks ago in Victory Lane, you calling her out, and that was a really cool moment in Victory Lane. I know, you know, Doug even mentioned, you know, hey, ladies in the grandstands, what do you think about that? I've known you a long time. I haven't known Courtney as long. I don't know if she was really part of the racing deal before you or not, but what's it been like bringing her to the races and bringing the whole family and kind of, you know, integrating them into the experience?
Well, I'm one of those lucky guys that their wife loves racing.
Okay.
I was real young watching John Moravec
Oh,
at Dundee and Timmy Kelly in the sprint car.
awesome.
So I've been there a long
So
time.
you had exposure before meeting
Yes.
Jimmy and getting
Yep.
involved with the racing.
Yep.
What is it being involved with the race team? Every time he's in Victory Lane, especially a couple weeks ago, he mentioned you first right off the bat. What is that experience like being involved with the race team and now seeing the success that he's having?
It's pretty special to me because he started way at the bottom and I've been there to watch him work his way up. And that means more to me than anything. I'm just super proud and I'm super competitive.
Yeah.
So it's fun, and it's definitely all about family with us. So not just Saturday nights, it's Monday through Friday night. We're all in the shop. We all do it together.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to see that he's climbing that ladder.
You know, you can see how much Ellie enjoys it.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're seeing how much the little guy enjoys it. That's got to just make the whole experience a ton of fun for you guys.
It does, and like I said, it's an all-week thing for all of us. I mean, he's always out there helping his dad do the tires. You know, Ellie is always involved with whatever he needs. So, like I said, it's a family ordeal, and that's what it's all about to us, for sure.
Jimmy's talked about how much fun he's had here at Land of Legends, and you know, he really talks about how proud he is that this is his Saturday night home. That's the racer perspective. How about the racer's wife perspective?
This is our home, for sure. It's a completely different atmosphere from other tracks we've raced at. The first year we came, we made friends with everybody. Everybody was bringing their car down. We were working on theirs. They were working on ours. It's just completely different from what we're used to all over. But we're friends with everybody now, so it's really nice. You can go over and borrow BA's gears or whatever we need, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that makes a big difference, and it makes it that much more fun.
For any of these fans that are in the stands watching you out there running, what is something that you would want a fan to say about you, you know, when you're out there on the track, or, you know, when fans are talking amongst themselves during the week? What is it that you want the fans to know about you, or you would want them to say about you?
Most of all, I'm just like them. You know what I mean? There's no, you know, I'm very cool, easygoing guy, you know, and clean. You know, I drive from the back to the front every week and never lay a bumper on anybody. And that's proven, you know, I'm not just saying that, that's a fact, you know. And I'd rather hit the brakes and spin out than take somebody out. You know, if I can't get to the front clean, I'm not going to the front, you know. And when somebody puts the bumper to me, I give it right back. You know what I mean? So, you know, but, you know, for the fans, you know, they're a reason we're here. You know, I guess Kenny DePayne came up to me. She goes, "Do you ever have anyone record you coming out onto the racetrack after you win?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Well, you should, because the fans go freaking crazy." You know, and I don't know 99% of them, but I'm very grateful for every one of them. You know, and it's awesome to have them back. You know, last year was weird. You know, going to Victory Land.
Absolutely.
So, you know, this is a great place to be. The fans are great. The whole compound is a great place.